Hello and welcome back. This is part 2 of assessment methods, and today I'm going to talk to you about reflective accounts, what reflective accounts are. And I think the first thing I'm going to start with is a theorist behind what reflective accounts look like, and I'm going to use Kolb. And Kolb suggested that there are 4 stages to reflective accounts. The first stage of reflective account is actually doing something. So thinking about what that activity is that you're doing. Following this, you would then go on to reflect on what you have done within that activity. Then you're going to draw a conclusion from your reflection. So you're going to say, did it work? Did it not? What could I have done differently? And then you're going to think about how you change your approach or your work in light of what the reflection did. So there should be 4 stages to your reflection, so that should help you format what it looks like. So for example, we might ask you, one of the criteria might be to reflect on how you adapted practice to support creative development. So point 1, doing something, you would explain to me what it is you have done in adapting your practice for creative development. Part 2, reflect on what you've done. So then you would be talking to me about what did you do? How did you adapt your practice? Why did you adapt your practice? What made it better? What made it worse? Then you're going to draw a conclusion. So you're going to say to me, the adaptations worked well or the adaptations didn't work so well. And then following that, you're going to think about how you would change your approach or adapt your practice in light of the reflection that you've just done. So you would then say, next time I might do this, or I might try this. Or actually, what I found this time is it really worked. It worked really well for the children, and so therefore I'm going to stick with that practice and I'm going to support others to implement it in that way. Those sorts of things would be the things that we were looking for in a reflective account. Now, to give you an idea of size of reflective account, because again this is a question that we get asked often, we would be looking for a minimum of half a page, and I say minimum, to 1-2 pages of a really good reflective account. Remember, you're looking at 4 points, so you should be looking at least 4 paragraphs of what it is that you're reflecting upon. And the idea of a reflective account is so that we can capture evidence of criteria that requires you to demonstrate that we as assessors might have missed when we're observing. So it's particularly poignant now with COVID-19, because at the minute we aren't allowed to come into the work settings. So we can't observe that practice, but there are lots of times when we come into your work setting 4 to 6 weekly, and it doesn't matter how many times we come, we aren't seeing that practice. It's not because you're not doing it, it's just because that time of day doesn't allow us to see it. So a reflective account is a really good tool for you to reflect on your own practice. The other thing to say is there's no research that goes into a reflective account, so I don't need to see so-and-so said this, the textbook said this. What we're looking for is your honest opinion of how you met that practice by demonstrating those skills. The very final part of the reflective account is that as your assessor, and one of your assessors would then verify the account to ensure that it is an accurate reflection of what you've written. So you could write us a lovely reflective account, but your manager, room leader, supervisor, colleague would need to verify that that is an accurate representation of how you work and how you carry about your day-to-day practice. So that is what reflective accounts are. You should be seeing more reflective accounts set for you from the assessment team at the moment, again because of us being unable to do observations. If you're watching this video currently with the 16th of April 2020, you may be watching this in a couple of months, things might be back to normal and we might be in the workplace with you. However, the purpose of the reflective account still remains the same, so it's really good to be watching this to understand what we're expecting in the reflective account. So finally, to summarise, again, there are 4 points that we would expect to see in the reflective account that we would look for you to structure your reflective account, and hopefully that will help you in completing that reflective account. If you're watching this video and you're on programme with us, please use your timesheet and update this. This all counts towards your 20% off the job training. If you're not on programme and you're just interested in different assessment methods, hello to you. Check out our Facebook page, which is Strode College Childcare and Education Apprenticeships and Training. It's a bit of a mouthful, I forget it sometimes. But please do give us any comments, anything that you'd like to see on this channel. Remember that we want this to be interactive and we want it to be your channel. So good luck, and we'll see you soon.